All right, you guys, this is an intro video. I just wanted to get you guys kind of caught up to speed on utilizing the tools on TradingView, directly on TradingView, the perfect entry trading system. Now, you should have access to our top three tools, which is the entry optimizer, which is what you see, the gold, red background. If it's green background, we're in buyer's territory. If it's red background, we're in seller's territory. Real easy to follow. It also will give you an entry, a take profit, 1, 2, and 3, and a stop loss for every single tool. Each tool does stand alone. So this is the entry optimizer here, right? So you have the ATR. When it breaks below it, you'll get a sell. This is a 5-minute chart. Now, usually we'll utilize higher time frames, especially if we're trading Forex, for the confirmation. But being that we're basically scalping, we want to utilize the lower time frames trading futures. So even in this sell, you may think that this sell is short-lived. Even though it's short-lived, this sell would have given you 3 pips, which is 30 points. 30 points times $5 a pip, you would have earned about $150 on this small move to the downside. Then you have the buy here. It came down a little bit back to the order block, but then it went further into profit. This buy gave you 140 points times 5. That's $700 profit. $700 profit in about roughly 30 minutes to an hour. So that's the power of utilizing the tools and trading futures. Now, when trading directly on futures, of course, there is a video in the back office. Once you get your account active, you log into the back office of Take Profit. Is going to give you a walkthrough video on how to connect your Tradeovate to your TradingView. Once you follow that video, then you'll be ready to trade. So in order to trade, your trading panel is over here on your right-hand side of TradingView. You'll see these two arrows. This is your order panel. So if you're ready to sell, you'll push sell. If it's a market order, you're going to make sure you're on market. If it's a limit, stop limit, this, that, so forth. Units is one contract. Usually we're just trading one contract until you get used to it. And you're trading on a live account. If you want to risk a little bit more, you can always trade more than one contract. One contract, each tick on YM. YM is the E-mini Dow Jones, is just like US 30. It's $5 per tick, which is per point. That's 10 points per pip. So if it goes up 14 pips, that means it went up 140 points times 5. You would have earned $700 on this trade. Now, we're just utilizing the entry optimizer. Of course, like I said, it stands alone. It also gives you a take profit 1, 2, and 3, and the stop loss. But we're utilizing it for extra confirmation. So what I mainly look for is the break and close above and below the golden key, which is this box here. And we also have the session key, which is this box here. Now, our golden key, notice around 9, 10 o'clock p.m., we caught a buy. This small buy would have given you roughly 1 to 2 pips. That's 10 to 20 points. That's about $50 to $100 on this move, right? Then we caught a retest. This is what we want to look for. If it buys above the golden key zone and it comes back to retest the golden key zone, as long as it does not start going below the golden key zone, we're still looking for whatever signal it was. If it's a buy, it broke above, came back into the zone, broke above, came back into the zone. This sell was short-lived. It did not give us a sell yet, so we're still looking for a buy. Here is the main buy in London session right here, and you would have earned about 60 points. That's about $300 profit right here on a 5-minute chart, right? Now, we're going to show you in lower time frames how you can get earlier entries or more precise entries. But notice, after you put your $300 or so, it came back and it sold. Once it sold, you can sell below. The sell below the zone from the golden key zone back to the session key zone was another, can you see it? $350 or so. Now that it is at the session key zone, notice here, we're at the session key zone. When it breaks back above the session key zone, you can catch another buy. If you're buying above, your stop loss is right below. If you're selling below, your stop loss is right above. So now that we see the sell, we can sell this market. You can either buy the retracement, because usually it's going to bounce in between the zones, or it's going to utilize these zones as support and resistance. So once you see it stop and you're seeing your Hakanashi candles closing in green, you can catch this small buy from the bottom of the session key, utilize the lowest wick possible, right here. If you're buying it from here, it went up 10 pips, that's 100 pips, that's $500 right there. But notice what it did. It broke back above the golden key and it retested the golden key again. You could have took this trade. This is a beautiful trade, straight to the upside. This is the trade that I missed. No, it wasn't. This wasn't it. This is a beautiful trade to the upside for 115 pips, 150 points. That's $750 on this trade right here for US 30. Notice what happened again. We caught a sell. Now, around 8 a.m., because we can change the session key zone. I currently have this zone for the morning bell, right? So this zone is created at 9 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, the zone is going to flatten out. And once the zone flattens out, it stays like that for 24 hours. You can utilize it for 24 hours. So after this, we caught this small sale this morning live. Me and a couple of other people that's in the group. We caught this sale. It broke below the session key. We were planning for it to come back to the golden key, but it didn't. But it did give us 7 pips, which is another $350 total, or at the most. And then it came up, broke above the session key zone. It's already above the golden key zone. It's breaking above the new session key zone. We're looking for buys. Notice if we turn on the entry optimizer, we're in bias territory. We catch this buy. This is the buy that I missed this morning. I caught the sale. I was waiting for either the retest or the break. By the time I saw it, it was too late, so I just didn't get into the trade. But this was a beautiful buy back above the zone for another 130 points, which is what, $800 to the upside on US 30 or the Dow Jones Future Index. Now, to catch more precise entries, of course, we can go to the lower time frame. So this is the 5 minute. We'll go down to the 1 minute. Notice on the 1 minute chart, just briefly from this morning, this was the sale from this morning on the 1 minute chart. We catch the sale, we caught the ride. The candles start going green again. You can get out for trade. We caught a retest. This is a small sale. You might not catch much from it. It might not look like much. That is still 3 pips, which is about $150 profit. It came back to the top of the zone, right? Now, this is what we want to pay attention to. We came to the top of the zone, it's stalling. So once it's in the zone, right, it's already sold. If it already sold and it's in the zone, we're simply waiting for it to break back below and we're getting to another sale. If it doesn't break back below, we're not going to sell. If it breaks above the zone, even if it doesn't necessarily tell you to buy just yet, if it breaks back above the zone, comes back into the zone, notice this candle came directly to the bottom, to the wick, to the bottom of the zone, and then it broke back above. When it breaks back above, that is when you start getting into the trade for the buy. Here's your buy, went higher. Here's another small retest to the top of the zone, and then it took off. This was a beautiful trade. These are the trades that you want to look for when it's all green candles. You see that? It's all green candles, and then the entry optimizer confirmed it. It broke above the high. It confirmed it, and then it continued to go in a profit. When do you get out the trade? When you're seeing at least 3 or 4 continuous red candles, you can go ahead and get out the trade. So this trade, you had to took this buy. This trade went up 11 pips. That's $550 profit off of this trade. This is the 1 minute chart. So let's kind of go back so you can see how it reacts to the golden key. Notice the golden key zone is very small. Notice how small this golden key zone is. So you want to utilize the golden key zone as well, right? So let's go to the beginning of golden key when it started. All right, here we go. We have on the golden key, the session key started first. Notice the session key was already formed. We're already in bias territory from the entry optimizer. Now we're currently in seller's territory from the entry optimizer. It gave us a sell. The sell was short-lived. you probably could have caught about $50 or so in that trade. But then it buys above. You got your buy right here. This is your buy. This is a beautiful entry, right? You see this buy right here, and then it came to retest. This is where you will try to find your trade. Either retest at the top of the zone. Sometimes it maybe even come to the bottom of the zone. If we're buying and it comes back into the zone, as long as it doesn't go below this golden key zone, you're going to continuously look for a buy. You could have caught this easy ride to the upside on this 1 minute chart. Caught this buy here. Say if you caught it from this candle, that is 1.5 pips. That's 150 points times 5. That is $750. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15 minutes, $750 in 15 minutes. You could be done for the day in 15 minutes off of this golden key. This is around maybe 10 or 11 o'clock, right? Now, I want you to pay attention to something because this is what we want to look for. Here's a retracement back into the golden key zone, right? And it's starting to break back above. It's stalling, but it's bouncing. It's not going below the golden key. Here, it did go below, but it came back into the golden key zone and broke above the golden key zone. So now that we're currently above the golden key zone, we're looking for buys. Here's a buy here. Here's a buy here. Back into the zone. Here's another buy here. You could have caught this buy out the zone somewhere, and that's another $500, right? Another $500. You got to sell this small sale. If you wanted to take this sale, even though it was short-lived, this sale would have given you another $500. Then you have a buy above the zone, came back to retest the zone. When it retests the zone, it doesn't go back into the zone or below the zone. You can catch another buy because we are now above the zone. It retests the zone. You catch this buy. That is another $700. And then it continued. I mean, that was a beautiful buy. If you had held that buy, ooh, this buy here would have given you sorry, 6 pips, 60 points, times 5, around $350 on that trade. Then it came back down. Look where it came down to. Came down to the session key. Now you're buying from the session key to the golden key. You catch a bounce from the session key. It bounced to the golden key, came back to the session key. You could have caught this bounce. That was about 50 pips or so. I'm sorry, $50 or so. And then it continued to sell. Sell back above the session key, back above the golden key. Then you can buy. You could have bought this trade here. You got a bounce. You could have caught a small buy here or there. Then there's the beautiful trend to the upside. These are the trades you want to look for right here. Sometimes it can get a little choppy depending on the time. So usually we want to try to find when the volume is coming into the market. Usually that's opening bell, which is around 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30. By 11 o'clock, we should be done. You may also get like a power hour push right before the end of the market close at around 2, in between 2 and 4. And you may get a small Asian push from the Asian session around 9, 10, or 11 to 12 o'clock. And then, of course, you have your London breakout between 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. So in between those time periods is where you're going to get most of the volume, to where you see nice, clean pushes. You don't want to get caught in the trade and it's consolidating, going up and down, up and down. You want these clean pushes, clean pushes, clean. And this is, again, 1 minute chart. We're trading on a 1 minute chart, but you want clean pushes. This is the new session key. Notice this is morning bell right here. Clean push to the downside. It could have been done, right? Came up, clean push to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4 pushes. Usually after 4 pushes, you're going to get a retracement. But that's a clean push. Opening bell, 10 o'clock, started going to the upside all the way here. Then it just started consolidating. Now we're at the end of the day or middle of the day. You start to see how it's consolidating. You don't want to get caught up in these trades because it's gonna wreck your brain. It's gonna wreck your brain. You want these clean pushes. Morning bell, opening bell, volume starts coming in. Then you get a retracement. Clean pushes like this is what we look for, what we thrive for. Once it starts getting choppy, These little candles, just go ahead and exit out the market and wait until the new session starts, which is now. Right now, we may wait until we might get a small push, being that it's 2 p.m. There's usually a power hour at the end of the market, so maybe between 2 and 4, we might get a small push. But other than that, I would not be trading after 12 o'clock noon. Next session will be 9 p.m. It's an Asian session, so between 9 p.m. the golden key will start forming. We may be able to get a break from the golden key. Other than that, the next session, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. at the latest for the London breakout, and then after that, you just turn it around and start out over and start trading the morning bell again. So just don't try to find it or force a trade if it's not around the time frames to where there's a lot of volume coming in the market. Just simply wait for the next session. This could be a pretty good sell. I like this setup. Sell back to the downside. Hopefully we can get at least to this order block, but I'm not going to take that trade. Don't force it. Don't rush it. But that's usually just the intro. We're going to be doing more live trainings. That way we can kind of answer some of you guys' questions, your concerns. If you get stuck on somewhere, we're going to have the live sessions for you guys to ask your questions. And we're also, if we find a setup during the live sessions, if we find a setup, we can actually take it live as a group. But that was mainly just an intro on how to find these trades. And look, now we're on the 1 minute chart. I want you guys to see we can go all the way down to the 15 second. 15 second, get an earlier entry, right? Get earlier entries on the 15 second. Where was we at? Now this is a 15 second chart. This is 9 p.m. 9 a.m. Morning bell started. Soon as the morning bell started, within 30 seconds, we were in the trade and we're out. Within 30 seconds, we're in the trade at 60 points. That's $300 right there. That's $300 right there in a matter of minutes. 15 second chart. Notice it came back to retest to the T. This is why we love these tools. This is why we believe and we strongly have a lot of confidence in these tools. Notice after the sell, what do? Wait for the retest. Here's the retest. You catch another sell to the downside. Retest, it never came into the zone, never came above the zone. Take another trade. That is another $150 to the downside. Right? You got to break above the zone. This is where it can get tricky. We got to break above the zone, and then people will see this, and they would have been selling the market, right? If we didn't have, it would have been selling the market. If you didn't have, the entry optimizer is telling you to buy. You're in buyer's territory. So if you see this, should you be buying? If you're seeing this, should you be buying? At this point in time, I don't care if it's a 15 second, 15 minute, 1 hour chart. If you're seeing this and we're in green, we're in buyer's territory. So if you're seeing this, a lot of people got caught up in this sale. If they caught it from here, from the top of the zone, it's fine. But how do you know that's the top of the zone? Unless you have the session key tool, right? So unless you're selling it from here, that's a good sell. But if you're seeing this, you start seeing all of these red candles, people are getting late to the party. They're seeing the trend lines being broken and all of the technicals is lining up. They saw this sell and got into the sell and got caught in the trap. Got caught in the trap right here. Fear of losing out or missing out. FOMO. They got caught in the trap. If you're selling, supposed to be selling from the high, which is up here, not down here. This is a support area. Right here is where it stopped. It was support and resistance, broke resistance, came back to support. Easy technicals, but some people will miss the technicals. That's an easy technical trade, right? Resistance, broke resistance, came down, support. But if you didn't see that from the technicals, all you needed was the session key tool. It's the bottom of the zone. So if we break above the zone, and as soon as we break above the zone, we're looking for the retest of either the top of the zone or the bottom of the zone. It came to the bottom of the zone. If it doesn't go below the bottom of the zone, you can buy it either from the bottom of the zone or more conservatively, just wait for it to break again above the zone. If you had to wait for it to break above the zone, there's your $150 again right there. Guess what happened? Now that it went higher, where are we looking for the retest? Here's your retest again at the top of the zone. I mean, this is a beautiful trade on a 15-second chart. That's why we will be able to do this with ease once you understand the tools and you're seeing these moves. and you, especially if you got it on a Hakanashi candle, but even if you don't, if you're utilizing regular candles, that's totally fine. It's up to you for depending on what you like to trade with. But if you're seeing this and you see this, you can trade this with confidence. It is already bought above, it retested below, it broke above the high, it went even higher. Now you're retesting the high of the zone. If it never comes back below the zone, you know this is a buy. It never even really came back into the zone. It broke back above the zone. You can use your technicals if you want to. Once it breaks the trend line, you can get in the trade. Or once you start getting these green candles to the upside on the Hakanashi, you can get in the trade. That is a beautiful bounce off the session key for, that is 110 for at least $550 to $600 profit. It can be done for the day. $1,000 profit, yeah, $1,000 a day will make all of the bills and all of the pain go away. Mostly all of the pain. But $1,000 a day is $4,000 to $5,000 a week. Now, with this trading account, this funded account, you have to trade. I believe with the $50,000 account is $3,000 once you pass phase one. Once you pass phase one, after 10 days, because you have to trade for at least 10 days. So say, for instance, you get $1,000 a day for the first 3 days. You already passed the threshold of earning $3,000, but you still have to have 10 trading days. So on the fourth day, just take a small trade. Fifth day, take a small trade. Six, you have to have 10 trading days. You have to take a trade for at least 10 days, right? So once you pass the 10-day threshold, you're going to get a live account, and you can start trading from day one. I believe your first $20,000 profit, you earn 100%. You can start trading. Say, for instance, you're on your first day of live trading, you earn $2,000. You can withdraw that $2,000 within 24 hours, right? After you pass phase two, it is going to go up, or after you go through the threshold of the $20,000, you'll go to phase two, you'll get a 90-10 split, I believe. It's something like that, but you can read through the fine print. You're going to get the emails on all of the rules and regulations once you sign up. But look at these moves. I mean, on the 15-second chart, we don't have to wait hours and hours. Now, of course, you got to wait for the setup. You don't want to, if we're all the way up here, right? Say, for instance, we all the way up here. We don't have a session key to work off of. We don't have a golden key to work off of. You're late to the party. You just want to wait, or you just simply find another trade. The futures, we're going to give you the symbols for the futures. Right now, we're trading US 30, NASDAQ. I got the micro NASDAQ, the mini NASDAQ, the S&P 500, the Russell 2000, and gold, right? We're not really trading any Forex pairs. We're trading indices and gold, right? That's where the money is. But notice, if you're in this area all the way up here, you're late to the party, unless you want to use simply the entry optimizer to get into your trade. You can do that as well, right? On a 15-second chart. Look at this buy on the entry optimizer on a 15-second chart. Buy. You went to a little bit of drawdown, profit, came back to your entry. As long as it doesn't break and give you a sell, you continue to ride it up. You got your sell, you get out the trade. You're selling until it buys. Here's a losing trade, depending on where you got in. If you got in here, this is a shoe pattern. I would have got out somewhere in this area here. You got to buy, profit, right? Still in buyer's territory, stalling, but you got your profit. Your buy is here, came up here. You're in profit. You got to sell. You can simply follow the entry optimizer. That is more riskier, but you still can do that, right? So now, if you combine them, if you got a buy on the golden key, a buy on the session key, a buy on the entry optimizer, then 9 times out of 10 you should be looking for buys, right? So notice here, this is a 3-minute chart. I'm gonna just kind of breeze through this so you can see the golden key, how the golden key works, and the session key. Now, I want you to, like I said, the session key, this session key zone is at the 8 a.m. morning bell. Now, you can change the time frame with the session key. So the opening hour is 8 a.m. So between, I believe, at 9 a.m. is going to give you your zone, right? It's going to use the 8 a.m. zone. The London session is 3. London session is 3. So notice after when I put 3, it's going to go to the London session. Notice it came, look at that beautiful buy. Lord, have mercy. Look at that beautiful buy from the London session, off of the session key. A beautiful buy. I mean, around 3 a.m., what's this? Around 4 or 5 a.m., I mean, took off, got your bounce from the golden key, and it took off. Took off. That sale that I was talking about, I should have took. Look at it, going further and further in the profit. I should have went ahead and took that sale. But that's okay. But look at that. Look at that beautiful buy. This is the London breakout zone. If this is 3, use the candle 3 in the session key. Now, the regular Asian session is 17. Go to 17. Notice on 17, it consolidated. Finally got a break above, got a break below, got a break above. It's mostly this zone was the 17, the Asian session zone. You can even look at 0, but this is midnight. This is the midnight zone. Midnight zone gave you that beautiful sale. Notice the buy, the retest. These zones are very important. It just depends on which zone or what time that you're trading. So if you're in the London session, you can utilize the Asian session, being that the zone is already created, which is 17. But if you want the break of the London or the London breakout, you will go to 3 and just wait for it to break the London zone. As soon as it breaks the London zone, you can get the trade. That's the London breakout. That's where the volume is at. New York session, London session is where the volume is at. That's where most of the volume is at anyway. Notice this. Look at this. Lord have mercy. This is a beautiful trade. Buys above the session key, retest the session, and the golden key took off. I mean, this trade, this is a beautiful trade. That's 230 pips. I'm sorry, 230 points times 5, 15. That's a $1,150 right there. $1,150. Easy trade. Why? Because it broke above the golden key. Look how small this golden key zone is. Even though you caught the sell, here, retested, caught the sell again, right? You already traded for the sell. You catch the buy out the golden key, buy out the session key, we already buying. This one trade right here, buying from the golden key to here is $400. It came back to retest, and you caught another $1,000. You're up about $1,500 to $2,000 already in this trade, in this one pair. This is just one pair. This US 30 Dow, E-mini Dow, which is US 30, up $1,500. So I didn't want to make this video this long. Of course, we're going to be having live trainings and everything like that. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the group. We're going to be setting up a Telegram as well. That way we can get a more formidable where we can communicate as a group. We should have that available in the next 24 hours or so. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And with that, whether it's me, Siobhan, or anybody that's in the group, we'll help you out. Until next time, I'll see y'all in the group.